Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Nipunika Shahid with the evening news. The headlines. In Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh quits as Chief Minister, accuses Congress Party of humiliating him continuously. Union Home Minister Amit Shah releases 5 lakh gas connections for poor families of Madhya Pradesh, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi is relentlessly working on goal of self-reliant India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts nation is marching ahead with novel ambitions. President Ramnath Kovind says government has taken various fiscal measures for the welfare of the poor during the COVID pandemic. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India administers 80 crore vaccine doses and stands tall against COVID-19. In Delhi, Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri inaugurates Najafgarh Dhasa bus stand section on Grey Line of Delhi Metro, says Metro Rail delivers a world-class transportation system to citizens. Ayush Minister Sarbanand Sonowal says Ayush Ahar should be promoted throughout the country to help save youth from the ills of junk food. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar discusses recent developments in Indo-Pacific and Afghanistan with French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian. And former Union Minister Babul Supriyo joins Trinamool Congress Party. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And other news in detail. Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh has tendered his resignation letter to Governor Banwari Lal Purohit this afternoon. Punjab Governor has conveyed his acceptance of the resignation of the Chief Minister. After quitting the post, Captain Amrinder Singh met the media and informed that he and his Council of Ministers have resigned. He said since he has resigned, the Congress Party can choose a new Chief Minister, whoever they want.
मेरा फैसला आज सुबह हो गया था। मैंने कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से बात की थी सुबह और मैंने उनको कह दिया था कि मैं इस्तीफा दे रहा हूं आज। बात ये है, ये तीसरी बार ये हो रहा है पिछले कुछ महीनों में। पहले तो एमएलए को एक बार बुलाया दिल्ली में, दूसरी बार बुलाया दिल्ली में, अब तीसरी बार मीटिंग कर रहे हो। मैं समझता हूं कि मेरे ऊपर कोई एलिमेंट ऑफ डाउट है कि मैं चला नहीं सका या कोई बात हुई, पर आई फील ह्यूमिलिएटेड कि जिस तरीके से ये बात हुई है।
Mr. Singh said he had been in Congress Party for the past 52 years and served as Chief Minister of Punjab for 9.5 years. He said he is still in the Congress. Our Chandigarh correspondent has filed this report.
Captain Amrinder Singh has said if Navjot Singh Sidhu becomes new Chief Minister of Punjab, he will not support him. On not joining the party legislature meeting today at Chandigarh, he said he was humiliated. Captain Amrinder said he never thought he would be treated this way. About future course of action, he said he need time, he will talk to his supporters and then decide. He said he will be active in the coming assembly elections of Punjab. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, AIR News, Chandigarh.
In Madhya Pradesh, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said the goal of the government under Narendra Modi is to bring a smile on the faces of the poor, feed every hungry person, provide jobs to every unemployed, and ensure that development touches and covers every family in the country. Mr. Shah was addressing the inauguration program of the second phase of Ujjwala Yojana in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh today. He released 5 lakh gas connections for the poor families of Madhya Pradesh and also symbolically provided free gas connections to 5 women. In his address, Mr. Shah further said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is relentlessly working on the goal of self-reliant India. To fulfill this goal, he designed such policies that would improve the standard of living of the poor.
आज गरीब कल्याण के लिए भी एक कार्यक्रम किया गया। उज्ज्वला योजना 2 का शुरुआत किया गया। 5 लाख गरीब माताओं को गैस के सिलेंडर दिए गए और मोदी जी ने जो गरीब कल्याण का एक यज्ञ शुरू किया है, अंत्योदय का एक अभियान, वो अभियान में हम आज एक कदम और आगे। हर गरीब को घर देना, घर के अंदर ही शौचालय देना, घर के अंदर बिजली देना, घर के अंदर गैस देना, 5 लाख तक का सारा आयुष्य और आरोग्य का खर्चा केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा उठा लेना और हर घर में शुद्ध पीने का पानी पहुंचाना, यही तो अंत्योदय है।
Earlier addressing the Balidan Divas celebrations organized in memory of martyr Raja Shankar Shah and Kunwar Raghunath Shah, Home Minister Amit Shah announced that tribal museums would be set up across the country to preserve the heritage of tribal freedom fighters. He said that for this, 9 museums have been conceived at a cost of about 200 crores. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan and many union ministers attended the program.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today lauded the efforts of the Goa government for completing 100% COVID vaccination of the eligible population with the first dose. He said that despite various challenges, Goa, with grit and persistence, kept up its pace of awareness and vaccination. He was interacting with healthcare workers and beneficiaries of the COVID vaccination program on completion of 100% first dose coverage for the adult population in Goa via video conferencing.
गोवा के प्रत्येक एलिजिबल व्यक्ति, पात्र व्यक्ति को वैक्सीन की एक डोज लग चुकी है। कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। इसके लिए गोवा के सभी लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई। गोवा एक ऐसा भी राज्य है जहां भारत की विविधता की शक्ति के दर्शन होते हैं। इस महत्वपूर्ण अवसर पर मुझे अपने मित्र, सच्चे कर्मयोगी स्वर्गीय मनोहर पर्रिकर जी की याद आना स्वाभाविक है। गोवा दुनिया के सबसे बड़े और सबसे तेज टीकाकरण अभियान सबको वैक्सीन, मुफ्त वैक्सीन की सफलता में अहम भूमिका निभा रहा है।
The Prime Minister said Goa used the assistance that was sent by the centre in an effective and timely manner, taking it to the grassroots level beneficiaries.
आज देश में दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा वैक्सीनेशन सफलतापूर्वक चल रहा है। गोवा ने इसमें एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि हासिल की है। इस उपलब्धि में देश भर के डॉक्टरों और स्वास्थ्य कर्मियों की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है। चाहे कोरोना की महामारी का संकट रहा हो या फिर दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा टीकाकरण प्रोग्राम, हमारे कोरोना वॉरियर्स ने जो भूमिका निभाई है वो पूरी दुनिया में एक मिसाल है। आपके प्रयासों के लिए गोवा के सभी डॉक्टर्स, नर्सिस, पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ सबको मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
Mr. Modi further said Goa has set forth an example of good governance and ease of living. The state has also attained 100% electrification. The Jal Jeevan Mission too has been successful in Goa. Mr. Modi said the nation is marching ahead with novel ambitions. The Prime Minister hailed the image of Goa as a state with immense possibilities and opined that time is ripe to widen the domain of this role and identity. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that standing tall against COVID-19, India has administered 80 crore vaccine doses. In a tweet, Mr. Mandavia has congratulated the nation on this momentous feat. He said it is the world's fastest and biggest vaccination campaign. India administered a record of over 2.5 crore doses of corona vaccine in a single day yesterday. The recovery rate is currently at 97.65%.
Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba today chaired a high-level meeting to review and discuss the COVID management and response strategy through video conference in the presence of Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan and Member Health in Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul. It was attended by Chief Secretaries, Additional Chief Secretaries Health, Principal Secretaries Health, Municipal Commissioners, District Collectors and other senior officials of states and union territories. The Union Health Secretary highlighted the emerging challenge of serotype 2 dengue in 11 states, which is associated with more cases and more complications than other forms of the disease. He suggested the states undertake steps like early detection of cases, operationalization of fever helplines, adequate stocking of testing kits, larvicides and medicines, deployment of rapid response teams for prompt investigation and necessary public health action like fever survey, contact tracing, vector control, alerting blood banks for maintaining adequate stocks of blood and blood components, especially platelets. The decision of the BMC and Maharashtra government not to allow physical darshan of Ganesh idols by visiting public pandals has fructified, as there has not been a significant rise in COVID-19 in Mumbai. A series of measures were taken by the BMC to reduce the crowding while welcoming and bidding adieu to Lord Ganesh. One of them was not allowing physical darshan to devotees by visiting the pandals. Although the daily caseload of the city has been ranging between 350 to 450 since the past 1 week or so, however, the civic administration feels that it is not a worrying trend. Kerala prepares to reopen schools from November 1st after remaining closed for over 1.5 years amid COVID pandemic. A report from a Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
The decision on reopening of schools across the state was proposed during the COVID review meeting held today. It is being suggested to begin classes for 1st standard to 7th standard and 10th and 12th standards from November 1st. Classes of all sections are proposed to begin by November 15th. The final year degree and postgraduate offline classes in colleges will resume from 4th of October. Meanwhile, the plus 1 exams will begin on 24th of this month and will conclude on October 18th. The State Education Department informed that the exams will be held adhering to strict COVID guidelines. Mayush Shah for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Ayush Minister Sarbanand Sonowal today said that the ministry should promote Ayush Ahar throughout the country, as it will also help saving the youth from the ills of junk food. The minister was visiting the Central Council's Common Building Complex in Janakpuri, New Delhi, where he interacted with officers and scientists of all 5 research councils and 2 national commissions under the ministry that are located in the premises. In the interactive session with officials and scientists, the minister emphasized on the involvement of people till the grassroots level. He also added that team spirit and hard work is needed to bring in effective change. It is noteworthy that the Ministry of Ayush is promoting Ayush-based diet and lifestyle and is working in convergence with the Ministry of Women and Child Development in the Poshan Abhiyan to realize the ultimate goal of Suposhit Bharat. The first expression of interest, EOI, for signing long-term agreement with upcoming dedicated ethanol plants for supply of ethanol has received an overwhelming response, with 197 bidders participating in it. The EOI was published by BPCL on behalf of oil marketing companies under the guidance of Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas on the 27th of August, which opened yesterday. The bids are currently under evaluation. The government has announced 5 different rates for ethanol based on feedstock used for ethanol production. GST and transportation charges are being paid extra. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. In Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh quits as Chief Minister, accuses Congress Party of humiliating him continuously. Union Home Minister Amit Shah releases 5 lakh gas connections for poor families of Madhya Pradesh, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi is relentlessly working on goal of self-reliant India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts nation is marching ahead with novel ambitions. President Ramnath Kovind says government has taken various fiscal measures for the welfare of the poor during the COVID pandemic. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India administers 80 crore vaccine doses and stands tall against COVID-19. In Delhi, Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri inaugurates Najafgarh Dhansa bus stand section on Grey Line of Delhi Metro, says Metro Rail delivers a world-class transportation system to citizens. Ayush Minister Sarbanand Sonowal says Ayush Ahar should be promoted throughout the country to help save youth from the ills of junk food. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar discusses recent developments in Indo-Pacific and Afghanistan with French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian. And former Union Minister Babul Supriyo joins Trinamool Congress Party. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Najafgarh-Dhansa bus stand section on the Grey Line of Delhi Metro was inaugurated today by Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal through video conferencing. The Dhansa bus stand is an underground station and an extension of the presently operational Dwarka-Najafgarh corridor. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Puri said Metro rail system has delivered a world-class transportation system to citizens. He said Delhi Metro has been a trailblazer with its ridership reaching 65 lakh per day during the pre-COVID era, while the overall ridership in metros across the country was 85 lakhs. He said the connections such as the one to Dhansa will play a vital role in reaching rural areas as well. President Ramnath Kovind has said the government has taken various fiscal measures to alleviate distress and for the welfare of the poor during the COVID pandemic. He said the past 18 months have been very trying for the country as the economy was badly disrupted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The President, who is on a 4-day visit to Himachal Pradesh, was addressing as the chief guest on the occasion of the valedictory ceremony of the Indian Audit and Account Services trainee officers of 2018 and 2019 batches at the National Academy of Audit and Accounts in Shimla today.
While addressing the trainee officers, President highlighted the role of the CAG in the current times when the economy is in distress due to COVID pandemic and governments have taken many fiscal measures to alleviate problems of the poor and needy. He said audit engagements provide a unique opportunity of gaining deep understanding of the system and place the CAG in a good position of suggesting improvements. President reminded the August gathering about the rapid changes in government processes due to technology and advised to adopt enhanced and novel auditing practices. He also appreciated the global recognition of India Apex Audit Institution, which is reflected in the assignment of audit function to various important multilateral institutions such as the United Nations. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News and will continue till 15th August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 88265 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner, will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. Let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Today is the birth anniversary of a great freedom fighter and revolutionary Madan Lal Dhingra. He was born on 18 September 1883 in Amritsar.
हमको यही कामयाब करना है देश की खातिर जीना है देश की खातिर मरना है
In July 1909, Dhingra assassinated Sir William Curzon Wyllie, an advisor to the Secretary of State of India, at a gathering in the Imperial Institute, London. Dhingra refused to take service of government's attorney, saying he did not recognize the legitimacy of court to try him.
He declared that his act was a humble revenge for the inhuman hangings and transportation of patriotic Indians. While he was being removed from the court, he said to the Chief Justice, "Thank you, my lord, I don't care. I am proud to have the honor of laying down my life for the cause of my motherland." He was sentenced to death and died on the gallows at the Pentonville Prison, London, on August 17, 1909, at the age of 26.
Madan Lal Dhingra was a symbol of the youth of his time, who was strongly opposed to the oppressive measures adopted by the British ruling India with an iron hand. In recognition of Madan Lal Dhingra's valor, Annie Besant said, "More Madan Lals are the need of the time."
Another revolutionary, Virendra Nath Chattopadhyay, started a monthly magazine in his memory named Madan Talwar, from German, and printed by Madame Kama. Madan Lal Dhingra's name is inscribed in the hearts of every Indian for his heroism and fearlessness.
18 September is the death anniversary of a well-known Indian theosophist and freedom fighter, Bhagwan Das. An educator by profession, Bhagwan Das founded the Kashi Vidyapeeth. He served as a member of the Central Legislature of British India for a long time. Das was born in Varanasi, India on January 12, 1869.
Inspired by a speech of Annie Besant, Das joined the Theosophical Society in 1894. In 1900, he was awarded the Subba Rao Medal by the Theosophical Society in recognition of his contributions to theosophical literature.
In 1921, Das was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment by the British for association with the non-cooperation movement, but was released after only 5 weeks on a motion of the government. For several years, Das served on the All India Congress Committee and was elected to the Legislative Assembly in Uttar Pradesh in 1934.
In 1955, Dr. Bhagwan Das was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award for his achievements in literature and education. Bhagwan Das bid adieu to this world on September 18, 1958.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In our program Spotlight at 9:15 tonight, we are starting a special series, Seva aur Samarpan, 20 Saal Sushaasan Ke. Today the theme is Jal Jeevan Mission. It showcases the resolve and dedication of Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the past 2 decades to ensure availability of water for citizens across the country. And raising awareness about coronavirus in the Corona Jagrukta series at 9:30 p.m. Today we will have Dr. M.C. Mishra, former Director AIMS, New Delhi, responding to listeners' queries. So keep listening to All India Radio News for the latest developments. Former Union Minister Babul Supriyo joined the Trinamool Congress Party today. Mr. Supriyo, Lok Sabha member from West Bengal's Asansol, joined the TMC in Kolkata in the presence of TMC's National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee and Rajya Sabha MP Derek O'Brien. The two-term MP Babul Supriyo had unsuccessfully contested the 2021 West Bengal Assembly elections as BJP candidate from Toliganj constituency. He was stripped of his ministry during the last cabinet reshuffle of the Modi government. The Central Board of Secondary Education will conduct the 15th edition of the Central Teacher Eligibility Test, CTET, between 16th December 2021 to 13th January 2022. The CBSE said in a release that the exam will be conducted in 20 languages throughout the country in computer-based test mode, the exact date of which will be intimated on the admit card of the candidate. The detailed information bulletin containing details of examination syllabus, languages, eligibility criteria, examination fee, examination cities, and important dates will be available on CTET official website ctet.nic.in from the 20th of September. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Singh today honoured the Paralympics participants Rakesh Kumar and Jyoti Balyan at Raj Bhavan, Jammu. The two para-archers of Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board Sports Complex participated in the recently concluded Tokyo Paralympics. The LG will, while congratulating them, observe that the Shrine Board's
support extended towards sports is being appreciated, and it is a matter of pride that players nurtured at SMVD Sports Complex are putting J&K on the world map. He lauded the efforts of the Paralympics participants and wished them success in the upcoming events.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today discussed recent developments in the Indo-Pacific and Afghanistan with French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said he is looking forward to their meeting in New York. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today participated in the G20 Agriculture Ministerial meeting organized by Italy, which holds the presidency of G20. Addressing the session on the topic research as a driving force behind sustainability, Mr. Tomar said agricultural research has played an important role in tackling the problem of food security, improving the income of farmers and agriculturists, and sustainable use of natural resources for the subsistence of people. The minister stated that agricultural research in India has played a major role in transforming the country from being a food importer to exporter. He said today, with an annual production of 308 million tons of food grains, India is not only in the realm of food security, but is also catering to needs of other countries. Foreign Affairs Minister of Saudi Arabia, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, will arrive in New Delhi tonight on a 3-day official visit to India. Tomorrow, he will meet External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. On Monday, Prince Faisal will call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Russia is holding elections to the State Duma, the lower house of parliament, from Friday. The voting will take place till Sunday over a 3-day period due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It is widely expected that the ruling United Russia Party will secure a convincing victory in the elections. Around 108 million voters in Russia have a right to elect 450 members of the State Duma for a 5-year term. United Russia has been the dominant party in the country for decades, and it enthusiastically supports Putin, although he has run as an independent candidate since 2018. United Russia currently has a majority with 334 seats. Half of the Duma's seats are filed by direct election. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to witness generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will also have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature will be 25 degrees, maximum expected around 31. Chennai will witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 26 and 35 degrees. Kolkata is likely to observe generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature will be 27, maximum around 32. Hyderabad is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature will be 23 degrees, maximum will be around 32 degrees. Bengaluru is likely to experience generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 21 and 31 degrees Celsius. Puducherry expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 24 and 33 degrees. Thiruvananthapuram may have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature will be 24, maximum around 32. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky in the morning hours, becoming generally cloudy towards evening with possibility of rain or thunder showers accompanied with squall or hail. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees, while maximum will be around 34. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. In Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh quits as Chief Minister, accuses Congress Party of humiliating him continuously. Union Home Minister Amit Shah releases 5 lakh gas connections for poor families of Madhya Pradesh, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi is relentlessly working on goal of self-reliant India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts nation is marching ahead with novel ambitions. President Ramnath Kovind says government has taken various fiscal measures for the welfare of the poor during the COVID pandemic. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says India administers 80 crore vaccine doses and stands tall against COVID-19. In Delhi, Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri inaugurates Najafgarh Dhasa bus stand section on Grey Line of Delhi Metro, says Metro Rail delivers world-class transportation systems to citizens. Ayush Minister Sarbananda Sonowal says Ayush Ahar should be promoted throughout the country to help save youth from ills of junk food. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar discusses recent developments in Indo-Pacific and Afghanistan with French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian, and former Union Minister Babul Supriyo joins Trinamool Congress Party. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.